Okay, it says I'm starting to stream now. Am I? I don't know. Yes, it looks like I am. Great. Oh wow, I'm very small. Okay, let me fix up a few things. Do a little housekeeping, if I may. Looks like I'm over here. Okay, there we go. Pardon me. There we go. Now I'm bigger. Yay. All right, that looks pretty good. Hey everybody, welcome to an hour of animation. It might be a half hour, I don't know, but we're gonna just try this and see how it goes. And whoops, let me pull that over there. There we go. Wow, my hair is doing some wacky stuff. But you didn't come here to look at my hair, I hope. You've come here to learn animation. And today I thought I would show you, well, to kind of go over a little bit of something. First I'll check to see how many people are here watching me right now. And maybe I can talk them on, let's see, nobody's there. Okay, that's good, that answers that. And okay, so eventually there will be people showing up, at least, I don't know, a few hundreds, I would say. So let's just use this time to, well, animate something, okay? So sometimes talking is just a bunch of noise, and so now I'm going to actually animate something. So I thought while I was working on a class this week, I was thinking about when I first got into animation. We didn't have an internet and all that, and so one of the exercises that I wanted to learn how to do is to do a splash, because I had this splash. I just want to animate a splash and then put something to it. So let me see if I can open up a scene here. And I'm using Harmony 20. Apparently, if you use Harmony 21 or something like that, if you have the latest Windows, it will not work. So be careful of upgrading your console there. Okay. So let me just jump out of here. And let's see, I can put this up. Can I put this up? Boink! That doesn't show up. Oh, I can pull this down here. I bet you it'll show up. There we go. All right, so now we're official. Nobody can steal this stuff. We've got that there. All right, good. So it's pretty big. So maybe we need to make this a little smaller. I'm going to make it smaller now. Let's see, is this it? That's not even it. Okay. Oh, it's locked, that's why. All right, I'll unlock it. There we go. Now I can make it smaller. There we go. We just don't want to get this all in the way here. Oops. Where are we? Oops. Come on. There it is. And move this stuff around. Stop. Okay. There it is. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to put this maybe up here somewhere. Does that look nice? Oh, I like that. I like the placement. That looks really good. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. And just for ID purposes, so you know what you're watching. Okay, so I've got Harmony over here. And I thought I would just show you how to set up animate something falling into some water, doing a special effect. There's so many programs out there now that you can, Maya or After Effects, things like that, where you can actually make you know, come up with a fire or water or any of those smoke effects like that. But I thought, since if you're doing 2D animation, how would you do it in 2D? So I want to show you that. And we'll just we'll put on the timer here just to make sure that we're don't go too far. Give it that much time. I think that's probably enough time. So when that thing goes off, I will end the program, and you can go back to your daily lives. Okay. So, how do you come up with a water, water, and you want to have something fall into the water, right? So let's just kind of make it just a generic kind of a rock falling into the water, and we're going to create a splash, okay? And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into share my screen with you guys. Oh, wait a minute. How do I do that? Oops. How do I do that? Oh, man. How do I share my screen? Okay. This is very professional. This is very, very professional. Okay, so how would I do that? Display capture? Is that what I want? Let's try that. Hey, there it is. That was easy. Okay, do I see it? Do I have my... Yeah, there he is. Okay, there we go. Great. So we're going to go into this right now, and we're going to talk about splashes. So basically, a splash is something where you have your... let me put my sound over here so you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. And that's what happened last time, is I did this like recording, and there was no sound. So hopefully you can hear this, and there's no one there to ask if you can. So I'll just figure it out later, I guess. So let's do this. Let's make a splash. So a splash is basically you're going to have water, and the first thing that's going to happen when your object falls into the water is it's going to kind of make this kind of shape, which is, think of it as like kind of a cylinder, something like this kind of shape. So it's basically, it's a rounded shape, and the splash, forces that make the splash is going to come up like this. So they're coming up into like this cone that comes out like that. And then as it goes this way, these splashes are going to start to get into gravity, and they're going to curve. So each one of those kind of curves that comes up is going to start to curve like that. It's going to come out this way, that way, it's coming towards us, stuff like that. And then it's going to start to come down even more. So all those water droplets and stuff shapes are going to come in like this. I know it looks like a real crabby looking spider right now, but let's see if we can do this. So what we'll do this, we'll just we'll put another drawing here, and we'll call that rock. Okay, and we're just gonna make a rock layer. Looks like a couple of them here. There we go. So we're just gonna make a rock. So as you can see, if I zoom out a little bit here, there, so you can see my screen. So we're gonna kind of come up with a horizon. So let's also do that. So we're just gonna make a horizon, just a very quick, that's probably terrible. Let's try it again. I don't want it to be too, we'll just pretend that's like, in the ocean, okay? All right. So I'm gonna delete this, I don't need that anymore. So there's my my background. And we'll just kind of go through this like that. And this is something where you could add like extra drawings to that background, so your line actually will move, so it doesn't look like it's frozen water or a hill or something like that. So if that's the case, yeah, let's just go ahead and give this some animated water. So here's on twos. And so that's the first drawing there, and then we'll just make another one right here, and we'll kind of something like that. Maybe something like this, and maybe another one here. And you can vary this line as long as you want. It's basically going to be moving kind of like that. So what we'll do is we'll just go through here and we'll just highlight these, and we'll do a right click, and we'll go up to exposure, and we'll put it on twos. And I didn't get everybody there. Let's try it again. There we go. Put the exposure onto twos. So now I've got a line that kind of moves back and forth like that. Now it is on onion skin, so it looks pretty cool like that. So we'll undo the onion skin, and now we can see that it's kind of doing this kind of stuff. All right. So you can copy this by just grabbing all this, copying it, and you could, go up to copy frames, which is right here. Where did it go? Here it is. Or Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac. And we're just going to grab this one, and we're going to paste it. Just Shift. Oh, sorry. No, not Shift. We can just hold it there and push Paste. And now it kind of goes through it like this. It's done that. Now this one is all the way on here, and so we don't want that. So we'll just grab all this stuff. Be careful when you do this, because sometimes it goes a little too far. So I just want 2 frames of this, and all this stuff I don't want. So I'm just going to delete that. And now, just to make this a little bit more fun, just going to grab all this. We're going to copy it. We're going to go here, and we're going to paste it. Again, I'm not sure why it's doing this. There might be another drawing over here. Ah, see, I've got this stuff over here that's kind of in the way. So that's why it's doing that to me. All right, so I'm just setting up a simple cycle. A simple cycle of water. Copy. So it's like, I mean, you can go nuts with this and do it, more, get it, animated even better, make that kind of thing move back and forth and all that stuff, if you like. Just want to have this. So there, we have like 3 seconds of water. There we go. So, could be water. Could be slower. Could be we could do this on 4s or maybe 3s. It's up to you. But anyway, let's just go ahead and name that water. Water line. Okay. And then we'll just make a whoops. What happened? I just deleted that. Oh, frick. Control C. Ah, see, Control V is your Control Z is your friend. See, oh, that would have taken more than another hour to get through here. So anyway, all right, so that's good. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to add a. I just want to add a drawing color card. Now, sometimes what happens when I add a color card, it didn't do it today. So there, I've added the color card. It went at the bottom where it's supposed to go. But sometimes what happens, it will attach itself to one of these drawings, and then you have to unattach it, which is a real pain. So as you can see now, when I go through, you can kind of see that that's like moving around. Not really water-like. It feels like it's kind of an electric line or something. I don't know. But anyway, it'll do. It'll do for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a rock. And usually what I always have my students do is to start off not at 1, but maybe like at 11 or 10 or something like that. Because I want the audience to see this first. I want them to see, like, where are we? You're somewhere where there's a wiggly line. And then we're going to have this rock. So I'm going to go into frame 12, and I'm going to have this rock kind of like that. So maybe you can, you can be creative, put some texture on the rock. I don't know, whatever your favorite rock is, there it is. And we're going to have it drop in to the water. So we're just going to make it go in here rather quickly. So we'll just do this. And then what I usually do is, to make it easier, is I'll just go up and copy that. And you have to stay in the stage area when you do that. So I'm copying it. And now it's in the memory. So then when I go to this one and I paste it, it's going to go right back to there. So if I put on onion skin, now when I move it, you can see where it was. So this rock is going to be falling down this way and splashing there. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just show you what you can do if you wanted to make this as a, if you were to do in-betweening, So this would be rock 1 right here, right? And this is my chart, my animation chart. So it's fast. It's going to be fast. So I want it to just come in very quickly. So it's going to speed up as it comes through here. And it's only going to be on there for a very short amount of time. So this is going to be 3, 5, and this is going to be 7. Right? So I'm going to call this one R7 right there. Do you see how that is? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. So this one here is R1, and I'm going to add 4 frames to this R1. It's already got 2, so it's going to have 2 more for 3 and 2 more for 5, and that gets us in the right place where it's supposed to be there. Okay? So I think what I'm going to do with this one, though, is I'm going to bring this up even a little higher. I'm going to go like up there, just so I can see just the edge of it popping on. All right. So now if I extend my onion skin, you can see where that rock is going to go. Okay. So there he is on 1. So the first in between I'm going to do is number 5, right? So I'm going to go here to number 5. This is kind of where it lives, and I'm going to delete it, open it up. Remember, it has that, I have that in memory, so I can go here and go to paste, and now I'm going to put this kind of in the middle of where that's going to go, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit like that. Okay, so there it is, kind of in the middle. So you can see how the chart is. So the chart, the R1 is way there. Right here is 5, and then here's 7. So there's definitely some distance between the two, as you can see. So, okay, so we got that one. And as you can see on the timeline, there's only 1 frame of that. So I'm going to push Shift plus to make another frame. Sometimes you have to touch it first and then kind of, there we go. And then I'm going to shrink that one by just going minus. And then here, there's where my 3 has to be. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those 2 drawings. I still have it in the memory, but I have to go into my stage area, push Control V to paste, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit more, like kind of like that. There we go. And I'm going to put it like something like this. So it's almost touching the top one, but it's kind of got a spacing right there. So it's going to come in pretty quick like that. All right. So let's go ahead and add another frame of that. And we'll just minus that by going delete. Or you can push minus. There we go. So now it looks like this. You can always turn off your onion skin so you can kind of, and if you can go between the keyboard of M and question mark, there's those two little arrow buttons. You can click through that and you can scroll through to see what's happening here. You can kind of get an idea of how fast it's going down. And if you want, you can just play it like this. You can play it a few times. Oops. You can render it if you like. You can do that. As you can see, that goes by really fast. So here, I'm going to shrink this up a bit like that so we can see it not all this time. Here we go. So there, you can see how it feels like it's almost too fast. It's coming in pretty good, but then it just goes by too fast. It's like there's nothing there. So what we might have to do is just kind of go back and adjust it a little bit. You see how that spacing right there? Yeah, it's a little too much. So what we'll do is this. We'll just grab this one. Or actually, we have it already in our memory. So let's go ahead and make another in between here. We'll just minus delete that. We'll open it up and we'll put another one here. Control, there we go. And now we can kind of see that it's kind of like that. It is rotating around, so maybe we need to kind of use that as a guide. So here he's slowing down, right? So we're just gonna give him a little bit more like that. So the spacing here is just a little bit more there. And then with this one, we want it to be a little bit more down here. So, whoops, let's just grab that and we'll put it down here like this. There we go. All right, so now we have an extra one in there. And we'll just put this on 2s. Another 2. And maybe another 2 there. So I'll move this out so you can see it. So now when I play it, it looks something like this. It feels like it's kind of fallen. And this is how you can play around with stuff. You can play around with the speed of this. As you can see, it's kind of going from there to there, to there, to there. I mean, you can play with squash and stretch if you like. It's up to you. You could stretch it like that. You see? Maybe we could even stretch this just a little bit like that. And then maybe when we're up here, we could grab this one a little bit more and move it up. So, all right, so we're just adjusting this a little bit. I mean, we want it to feel like it's going faster as it comes down. But let's turn this off. The whole point of this is that the rock is not the point of this. The point of this is to animate a splash. So let's pretend that that's the best rock that we can ever think of and animate. Coming down. And then right about here, let's go ahead and start making that splash. So right on this drawing here, you could actually make another drawing layer and call that splash. Splash, there we go. And that's going to be kind of the splash. I don't know why it keeps doing 2, but anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing my splash right there. Now, you can use blue or light blue or whatever color you want to do this in. But the main thing here is do not delete these. Do not change the color on these. Leave these alone. If you want something out of this, go to blue and add one by add a color with the plus button. And then you can use this and click on it, and then you can dial in what kind of blue do you want. So let's say we want this kind of blue. And what we'll do is we'll just put, you know, splash or water or whatever you want to call it. Now it's there. Now it's its own layer, so its own color. So if we adjust that color, it'll be fine. So anyway, let's go ahead and draw some stuff here. So the first thing you're thinking about is that it's going to hit the water, and as it hits the water, you could, you know, think of it as kind of a, you know, kind of curved, you know, like that. And it's going to be a big kind of splash at first, you know. It's kind of, all these shapes are kind of like, think of a hand like fingers. So this is what I'm basically trying to do, and I'm trying to alternate this. I don't want my splash to look like that. I want it to be, some are big and some are small and some are, you know, and they curve, you know, they kind of, they've got some volume and they've got some, you know, you can bend the water and all that. You're a water bender and all that stuff. So, all right, so let's go ahead. I'm just gonna draw some ideas here and just see what we got. So it's coming in like that, and it's just the first thing that happens is the explosion of the water out that direction. It's basically all going that direction. So, you know, you can have some of these, have fun with it, you know. Some of it, you know, you can see the rock, some of it you can't. But it's basically, that's the first thing. And then, you know, here you can see where the rock was. So now you're just trying to think of like how to kind of get this thing. So it's, think of a crown. It's like kind of like the crown, a king's crown, kind of like that. And it's a circular, you know. So it's kind of coming out like this, right? And then as it comes out, it's going to start to curve this way, because all this stuff, it's like kind of like a funnel, like a top of a funnel, and it's kind of curving around like this. So it's almost like 3D, and all this water is kind of curving this way, and it's starting to kind of bend at a certain point, right? And you can kind of throw in some shapes like that, throw in some shapes like that, something like that. And then as it goes up, because it's going from a small thing to a larger thing. Let me turn this off so you can see. So it's kind of shooting out like that. And then at one point it's going to start to curve more. So this is where it's kind of curving. It's still going up, right? It's still going up, but it's curving out now. So you can use that line as a guide and kind of show all this stuff. And remember, it goes by really fast. This is all on ones, so it's going to go by really quickly. And you can start a little, like some waves here like this. So if we look at it, now it's going out like that. So I need to kind of fix this up because it kind of gets all blotchy there. So let me go over here and see that, yeah, so it's kind of curving. Kind of, you know, you see kind of the crest of it in here. So it looks something like that. You see, so it's out, out. It's like kind of curving out this way, you know. And then it's gonna start to, still coming out. It's coming out like this. So all that water is starting to come this way, and you know, it's gonna reach out here now. It's kind of curving around like that. And I remember asking this question, you know, a long time ago. How do you do this? My animation teacher, he had a hard time explaining it. He was like, well, it's kind of like this, and then he got intrigued because he was trying to figure out how to do it, and then how to explain it to someone. That was really hard to do. So anyway, I'm just kind of doing this kind of thing. So I'll turn this off so you can see kind of what I'm doing. But basically, it's just this kind of cone of water that's kind of starting to curve and come this way. And you don't want it to be all kind of the same, you know. So you can change it here and there, you know, break it up so it's not so same. So some stuff could be here and some could be there, and, you know. And again, it's just going by really quickly. So what's happening here is like these big chunks of water are going this way, and they're gonna be going this way. And as they're kind of going that way, they're kind of leaving the water behind, you know, this other water's breaking apart, kind of like that. So that's going to be next. So we're going to get to about here, and then we're going to see, and this is where you got to pull your onion skin back a little bit. Maybe just deal with one drawing at a time. All right, so now the water is like splashing here, so it's contacting the ground or the water, and say like this is kind of coming off. And again, this is very organic, so there is no right and wrong. It's actually pretty good just to sketch, just to kind of wiggle your pen to make these things happen. And see, I'm just kind of connecting lines like this, so like that shape is kind of doing this. Let me turn this off so you can see. See, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. So like all that mass of stuff there is now it's kind of changing into this. So it's got like kind of like these tails that are going into the water, and it's splashing this way, and it's making all sorts of chaos into the water and flipping things around and stuff like that. So you can see kind of what I'm doing here. And I'm just trying to hint at some lines. And remember, there's other lines back here because it's 3D. So I'm just kind of hinting around like that. And maybe this is just too big of a splash for this one little rock. You know, think about it. But there, you can see as I flip through this how it starts off here, goes to there, goes to there, goes to there, goes to there. And then it's just a matter of kind of making these strips of water going into the water very quickly. Something like this. And this is where, if it's such a big splash, maybe I'll revise my rock. I'll make my rock not as you know. So here's that other splashes out here, and ripples are happening, things like that. So it looks like something like this, you see? So now it feels like, you know, ooh. Now these are kind of like my key poses for this thing. There you go. And with water, you want to have it very free and flowy and organic. So, you know, it's okay. You don't have to get really tight on your in-betweening. You're just trying to find the shapes, and kind of straight ahead animation is fine for this kind of stuff because it's always changing like that. So as it comes down like that, we want all those things to start to go into the water, and ripples are starting to happen and all sorts of fun stuff. So like, yeah, so, you know, maybe just start making that ripple line, you know, go a little farther out this way, put one here, and kind of go around like this, and you're just trying to create a lot of havoc, a lot of ripply lines happening, and this stuff is starting to, you can have little blops of water, and we're just kind of making all this water line get smaller and smaller because it's going into the water, basically. It's going back where it came from, and inside here is just a bunch of lines. So you can see kind of what's happening there how I'm doing it. And this is what I would do if I had this as, drawn animation, as I'm just kind of wiggling, some of this stuff and just seeing kind of where I'm at, kind of getting that to kind of feel like it's trying to make it kind of like this. So it's so it's going to get bigger, and like those lines are going to go out like this, and they're going to start to lose detail as they get farther and farther away like that. Okay, so there we go. And like I said, you could have some bits of water, just kind of coming this way here and there, little blobs of water going like this. They're late. They're kind of late to the party. And yeah, and then when you get in here, then it gets into this whole very, there's a lot of it's not as fun. You're just trying to eliminate lines, basically. So there he is. All right. So now we'll kind of curve. And that's the thing. You're trying to keep this curve kind of going around. You're doing this kind of thing. So I haven't done this in a while, so it's maybe it shows, but it's hinting around if there's movement there. You can see kind of like that. So that's pretty dissipated. So we'll just have a couple extra bits here and there. Those extra lines, those extra droplets are coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. And then all this stuff is just kind of wiggly, and got some foam, or I don't know what that is anyway. Kind of wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. Looks like that. I know if there are any effects artists out there that have done this drawn animation, if they want to contact me and say, no, that's not what it looks like, let me know. I would love to hear, how did you do it? How do you do this? Because, but see, it's not bad. It feels like kind of watery. Right in there, that feels pretty good. And it's on one, so it's psh, and it's a quick psh. So if we play it, let's just go ahead and play this at speed just to see what it looks like. The preview. So you can see. It's not bad. I mean, it's all on ones, so it does feel a little fast, But it feels watery. I don't know. What do you think? Another thing about this program is that you can, if that's, if it's, say if that to that is not acceptable, or you want it to be a little bit more, you can select those frames like that, and you could do something to them. Let's see if I can just see here. So this is one I'm looking at right here. I'm trying to get my onion skin in there. So yeah, so if I took this one here, you can use perspective. Sometimes that helps. You can go to this perspective tool, and you can click on that, and then you can kind of bring this up, and you could bring this out more if you like. You could close it a little bit at the end there, like this and that. so it gives it more of this kind of look to your splash. So it feels like when it goes from there, it feels more like it's kind of coming out more, like that. And then through here, we're just going to have to just dissipate this even more. You can turn on your onion skin and see what we got here. So we'll just go back a couple, and then we can just play around with that to see how that looks. So oops, let's put on some, there we go. So here you can see this line in here. It's going this way, and this one's going this way, and this one's kind of, and you can start breaking things up. You know, that's the hard part, just kind of breaking up the lines, you know, not drawing everything, because you don't want it, you want it to move forward, you don't move away from what it's, you know, move towards us right here. And then all this stuff is just kind of going out this way, away from us. And then those little drops, you know, they can probably be gone by now. Maybe this one still exists. Just, you know, kind of play around like that. And you can see how it's like a crust of pizza here. It's just the pizza crust is getting closer to us, so it's kind of doing this kind of thing. And then you can turn it off and see. You can flip back and forth. You can see how it feels like it's kind of going away like that. All right. The other thing you can do is, as you do this, you know, you could, instead of drawing it, you could just draw like a bunch of lines that are moving away, and maybe use the size tool to use that. You know, we could copy this one here and just copy it and then paste it the next frame, and then we could adjust the size, bring it out even more like that, and just kind of, and then we could use the erase tool to kind of, you know, maybe erase some of this stuff, like some of these lines, you know, like certain places. I don't know, that's an, you know, we never had this when we were doing it, but see, maybe that looks too, but see, it feels like, you know, it's kind of going away. Something like that. The other nice thing about this is that as long as you have the drawings here, you could fade them out using the on the element, on this layer here, you could fade them out. Let me make a couple more drawings here. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just grab this one again. We'll copy it and we'll paste it. Paste it. And I'm just going to play around. Let's see what would happen if it looked like this. If I took this and I went to transform and I just flipped it horizontally, so it just flips it around like that. Let's see if that changes it any. Does that look better or worse? Oops, let's turn that off. And then flip between to feel like, kinda, not really. It's hard to tell. So what we'll do is we're going to use that though. So we want it to come out and we want it to keep going. Keep going.
The baby gate.
Yes.
The baby gate.
All right. So now watch this. This is kind of fun. So we've got this coming up. So we're going to start this off on 2s. So we're going to go like that. We're going to have this on 2s. So the rock is there. We're going to grab this one. We're going to put that. So now we have 2 frames of this splash. We've got this big cone thing going up on 2s. because it feels pretty fast in through here. So maybe, yeah, we'll see. So you can turn this on and just see kind of where you're at. What's going on? So let me just clean this one up a little bit. And we'll make this kind of out like this, more like kind of a crown of the water, going out more like this at the beginning, something like that. And then we'll just clean this up so you can see this, and it feels more like water coming out. There we go. There we go. And what we'll do here is we'll just we'll add a couple little lines here, you know, little kind of like those lines, like when things moving out, stretchy lines. They're kind of, it's the water stretching lines. That's the official title of what they are. So it looks kind of like a tree trunk upside down, right? And then it's going to go out like this. So we want this to kind of start off slow, you know, so we can see it. So maybe we'll keep this shape, and I think we need to kind of go from this one to this one a little bit more smoother, because all this through here is pretty smooth. It feels pretty good to me. That's pretty nice. And as we start to go into this, all this stuff will keep on ones, but like in through here when it's kind of settling, we'll make that a little longer. So like right in through here. Yeah, so we're going to do this. We're going to grab all these and we'll make it in twos. We'll just go to exposure and try this out. Okay, because that's all what it's all about, is trying out this stuff. So you can see how it's going like this. And if we want, we can actually take the last couple drawings here. These are on twos coming out. And then maybe we'll make these, you know, this one and this one on threes. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. We're doing it. We're animating. Oh my God. There's animating. Is that legal? I don't know. So there you go. So it's slowing out. Now there's a reason I'm doing this slowing out thing, because I want to show you how you can use Harmony to help you kind of fade out different layers. And most people don't know about this. Well, most people do, but beginning people don't know anything about this. So I'm just giving you a heads up. That's what I'm trying to do. So I only have a few more seconds to go, I guess, before this thing beeps. So let's see if we can get this to go. So all I would do is maybe make one more in between this one and this one. So I'm just going to add that one like that. And I'm going to go in here and I'm just see if I can just roughly do an in between this one. Whoops. Let's make that go away. There we go. I'm going to go from this one to that one, make an in between, just a rough shape of that. There we go. And a rough shape of this. And just concentrate on getting those things to move outwards. So these are going this way. This is going this way. Starting to curve kind of like this. Like that. It's starting to come down a little bit more. I'm just kind of wiggling the shape around. So I'm trying to get these shapes in through here. Like that. And then we're going to kind of start to curve a little bit in through here. Just kind of some shapes in there like that. And then we're going to go like this, make that cone. And just kind of add a couple extra little tweaky lines here and there, and then kind of, you know, down here in the water, kind of charge it up. And it looks something like that. Amazing! There we go. So now it feels like it's kind of going outwards. It's still a little weird to me, like right in here. It's just too, here, I'm going to fix it up. No, yes, I'm actually going to fix this up. No, yes. See, I'm trying to just change the water a bit. Oh, we're at an hour. Okay, guys, see you later. Bye. Okay, so I'll go over this because I'm almost done. But yeah, it's supposed to be an hour of animation. The hour of animation. So, but as you know, that usually takes some time to get to there. So anyway, I'm just kind of roughing this in like that, and then just kind of continuing some of the stuff that I started in here, something like that, and yeah. So it comes up here in 2 frames. It's there. In 2 frames, it's here. Just so we see that the cone is growing bigger, and then this one we're going to stay on that very short. That'll be a frame, that'll be a frame, that'll be a frame, you know. And as it comes back down like this, we'll leave it kind of fast. And then here it's all on 2s, and then here it goes to 3s for like 6 frames right there. So let's play it and see what we got. Let's play and see what we got, everybody. All right. Have you done with yours? So here we go. There we go. It's looking pretty good. I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment and suggestions in the comment box and let us know. What did you think of this? Was this a total waste of time, or did you enjoy this and learn something new? Let us know. Subscribe to our channel. Be our friend. Hold our hand. Do whatever you want. But please keep animating. All right. So yeah, this is looking pretty good for an hour to get this far. We're doing pretty good here. So this is what I want to show you real quickly, how to kind of fade this out. I mean, I can draw this, keep drawing this, but it's going to take me forever and it just gets real tedious. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go in between your title of your layer and that plus button. If you tap on this twice, this pops up. It pops up in another window. Let me pull it over here so you can see it. It's the elements, the layer elements. Layer properties elements. Hi everybody. And then if I click on this, or if I pull this over, the last little tab is called advanced. So if I push advanced, opacity is what I want. So here, as we're kind of going through here like this, we're going to make the opacity go from 100% to 0. All right. So this is what we're going to do, is we're going to go in here into opacity. We're going to click that little button there. Hit it so we can see it, and we're going to make a keyframe. Right now we want to make sure we're on the right keyframe, so I'm going to be about maybe something like right here would be good, like right there. All right, so I'm going to go over here, make a keyframe. I don't see anything, but if you push this button here called reset view, there's my keyframe right there, and it's 100%. So now I'm going to go over to this one here. I'll make another keyframe. And I'm going to make, since it's highlighted, I'm going to make this 0. So I can click on this, go to 0, and it is now fading out. It's totally out right there. And so this is a way of like still animating your, you still see it animating, but it fades out like that using this kind of thing. All right. And to get this off, you can just close it out, and you can adjust this all you like. Right now it's a very fast kind of fade out, but I mean, you can vary it for your individual thing. But see, now it's looking pretty good. Yes, the wiggly water is a little much, and yes, it is offset. It looks like it's kind of higher on one side than the other if you want to get that picky. But this rock falling in feels like water now. So there you can see kind of how I did that. You have a couple extra frames to show what's going to happen. Then you can speed it up by going on 1s. Get us through that, and then you can hit back onto 2s as we're going out of this You can keep it, you know, go to 3s, 4s, whatever. And you can apply that fading out aspect as well to change this around. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me turn down I'm getting weird things in my eyes right now. But yeah, so there you go. That's just a little example of how to do a splash. And if you like this, why don't you just go ahead and, what do I do? Over here? Is it here? Yes. Just push that button and you could subscribe to this channel. I want to do more live streaming things like this. And if you're interested, check out these videos. One of these videos here. Yeah, if you're interested, we'll see you next time on Animateducated. Goodbye, everybody. And now what I'll do is I'll look over to see if anybody has been watching this whole time. So here I go. I'm going to go look. I don't even know if it's on. I don't even know if I can find it. I don't see it. Okay, well, I'll just assume that it's there. But it doesn't look like anybody's watching. I'm going to cut this part out. I still haven't gotten to it. All right, this is not what I want to do. Take all this time looking for this thing. Oop. Okay. Well, I don't know. I can't seem to find what I'm supposed to look for here. So I'm assuming that it is. Nobody has been watching this whole time. Okay, well that's okay. I figured. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time on Animateducated. Now I will turn it off. Okay. Stop streaming.